Hello, this is Nebraska Dave. We are going to be covering the Nintendo conference, which is already starting, and the IGN is not going to it yet. We've got to get this thing going. They're working on this. It's starting now, and I don't understand why IGN is not moving to it. So we're going to this right now. You're going to get a little bit of IGN, and then the Nintendo digital conference.
Yeah, one more question here. Matthew Paul says, I want Monkey Ball.
Oh, man. So
Not really a question as much as it is a declaration.
Yeah. All right. Justin Davis, IGN editor, huge Monkey Ball fan.
Yeah.
So am I.
Conference is starting, everybody.
It's going to start.
Enjoy the show.
Mr. Iwata? Mr. Iwata? Oh, wow. Yes, we're ready to start filming the Nintendo digital event for E3 2015.
Okay, thank you. I will head directly to the stage. Reggie, are you ready for the digital event?
Nintendo 62, Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64. My puppet body is ready. Huh?
Just so you know, they're getting stupid.
I'm here.
There we go.
What's up?
Nintendo has started.
Yeah, no, I'm watching it right now.
So I am recording, and they've gone silly.
It's the Muppets.
Yeah, but they're playing off Star Fox.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is. I wonder how they get.
What?
Yeah.
What are you watching it on anyway? YouTube?
I'm watching it again on both YouTube and I got Twitch. My second one's got Twitch's version on it. It's the same thing. Whoops! I got to kick up the sound here.
I can do better than that. Check this out.
Entering Corneria's orbit.
Yeah, YouTube's not actually broadcasting this time, so it's IGN that I'm pretty much watching.
Oh, Dave got one right.
Yep. There we are. And it was the first one out of the gate, too. It's going to be on both platforms.
Oh, I got one too. It said December. Still part of the holiday.
Yep.
Switching to all range mode. Let's take the offensive.
I like to at the end do the barrel roll.
I live right by the Fushimi Inari Shrine. I've had a relation with this shrine since I was a child. Because of that, I felt that I was always protected, as if it's my guardian angel. When I was a child, there was a TV show about fighter planes called Thunderbirds. That inspired me to make a game that had cinematic elements, with each character having a distinct personality and their own drama. That would be reflected in the dialogue and appear in scenes like where a cool character and enemies would appear.
Right now we're getting a life story about how he made this game.
Yep.
When it came to talking about details regarding how to make the main characters look and feel, we talked about all sorts of types of people. But ever since I was in school, I drew comics with caricaturized humanoid animals, and decided that the characters in this game should be based off animals. I then talked about it with Imamura-san, the designer, and we thought about the fox image. Then I thought, let's try making a fox the main character.
We're entering Corneria City now.
When there's an arch, you want to go under it, right? That's the kind of game I wanted to make. Thinking about the shrine, this place is known for the row of arches. So we went with this idea to create a game where you would fly through different arches.
That's cool.
Star Fox is a game
Yep.
where you use a control stick, like the one you'd find on a plane. When you fly a real plane, you need to pull back on the control stick to fly up, right? Similarly, you can use the gyro on the gamepad to look all around and feel really immersed in the game. We'd like people to play as if they are flying a real plane. It's really exciting. For Wii U, with its 2 screens, we experimented with gameplay with ideas before this iteration of Star Fox. There were 2 screens that each serves a specific purpose. For example, we've tested using one screen for a more cinematic view and the other for gameplay. The Wii U gamepad has a gyro, and it's a big reason we decided to make this game. It's a cockpit view, so it feels like you're in the cockpit like this. You can aim by moving the gamepad around. In the other Star Fox games, you play by controlling your plane in third person on one screen. This time, the game world is shown on the TV, and you can focus in to aim on the gamepad. By using 2 screens, you can see yourself flying in third person on the TV while shooting down at the enemies below you from the cockpit view on the gamepad. You can be really immersed in the experience, so that's something I hope people can check out. On the Nintendo 64 system, you had to use a lot of buttons. But now, with the Wii U gamepad, you can use 2 sticks to do things like speed up and flip around. There's only one button to fire all the different weapons. So there are 4 buttons
Rob's
left,
robot.
and with that, we can not use these buttons to make the R-Wing transform.
Nice.
And let's use one button to do flips and the other for a U-turn. The R-Wing transforming into a walker, that was in Star Fox 2. But since that game didn't make it out, I'm glad we were able to have it appear.
Nice.
The R-Wing transformation mechanic actually looks like it and makes a lot of sense. There's the Landmaster, and also the Gyro Wing, which adds a lot of breadth to gameplay. With it, you can perform a lot of tasks as Fox. You can also play different stages with other vehicles too. So I hope you'll have fun trying out courses with different vehicles even after you clear the game. We've rebuilt the game using ideas from the past, but it's not a Part 4 or Part 5. It's not a remake either, so we named it Star Fox Zero this time. The subtitle Zero was taken from how the kanji character looks in calligraphy. Star Fox is based off of the Japanese culture that inspired me. So I wanted people around the world to see this cool kanji character in the logo. When I saw it, it reminded me of a foxtail. We wrote the character with a brush and added the logo. It looks cool.
Hi, and welcome to Nintendo's digital event for E3 2015. I'm Reggie Fils-Aimé, President of Nintendo of America. We began today having a little fun imagining ourselves as characters in the Star Fox universe. But that opening was more than just fun. It also represents a theme you're going to encounter consistently throughout Nintendo's experience for E3. That theme is transformation. Recently, Mr. Iwata has made several announcements on how Nintendo itself is being transformed, with expansion to Universal theme parks, mobile devices, and our new dedicated game platform, codenamed NX, which we'll tell you more about in 2016.
There's the hint.
Our purpose is more immediate. To focus
2016.
on the you'll be enjoying right inside your Nintendo gameplay in the coming months. If there's a secret to the longevity of Nintendo franchises, it is transformation. We never let them stand still. There always has to be something new, something compelling. And that even applies to the game Super Mario Brothers, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2015. To say he's been transformed over the years is obvious. But along the way, he's also transformed gaming, from establishing the platforming genre on the NES.
Let's see if your prediction's right.
3D world of Super Mario 64. Later this year, Super Mario Maker will take the next step by turning the essence of game creation over to you, our fans. Now, players will become creators as you build your own Mario levels that can be shared globally with friends. And who knows, maybe even I'll be playing, and of course beating, your latest creation. Finally, nothing in our history has transformed our franchises quite like Amiibo. And as you'll find out this week, there are more new Amiibo on the way and more games for them to inhabit. In fact, right now, let's see how Amiibo are about to show up in a totally unexpected way. So at this year's Nintendo digital event, the team put me right to work. So I'm pleased to be here with Karthik Bala from the Vicarious Vision studio at Activision. And Karthik, we've got some great news to share.
Yeah, so the hallmark of the Skylanders franchise has always been deliver brand new innovation and the highest quality gaming.
Uh-oh, Adam's in trouble.
This time we're bringing a whole new toy category to life. We're bringing vehicles to life this year.
Skylanders.
Skylanders Superchargers. And really blending it to this epic vehicle adventure.
But there's more to it, right?
We've got 2 unexpected guest stars. So introducing turbocharged Donkey Kong and his vehicle, the Barrel Blaster. We also have
It went the other direction.
Slam Bowser and his vehicle, the Clown Cruiser.
Bowser is always my favorite. I don't know why people say that I look like Bowser and at times act like Bowser. As you're playing as these figures, as you have the various vehicles, what happens?
So
Donkey Kong and Bowser 4. Skylanders.
Of powers and abilities, some of
Backwards than what I've thought.
things that you would expect, like Donkey Kong throwing barrels and Bowser slamming down his hammer, but also really unexpected moves that harken back to elements of lore within the 30 years of history of these characters.
What else can these figures do?
If you put the figure on a Skylanders portal, they act as a Skylander, but you can twist the base and switch it to Amiibo, and it can be used as an Amiibo in another Nintendo game.
So again, these characters, these vehicles, only
Wow.
on Nintendo. So
Adam's pocketbook's done for.
Collaboration with Nintendo,
With his kids.
that is very protective of its franchises, that always likes to have total control What was that like in terms of working with us to bring these fabulous experiences to life?
We're such big like Nintendo fanboys, and you know, I think we may have been a little too cautious at first. We wanted to have a form of Bowser where he became really big, and you know, we pitched the idea of using Giga Bowser, and this is when the Nintendo team said, no, do something different, you know, something new, and we created Magma Bowser, that we've never been seen before, and you know, his fire breath just becomes this insane flamethrower. We wanted to set the Koopa on fire, and they said use dry bones.
Right.
And so like dry bones, and they said, well, here's all the material for dry bones, and it was just, you know, building on top of that, and we just didn't. You know, we didn't think that we were going to get away with all of this stuff.
Karthik, thank you so much for sharing this information. And throughout the entire week, we're going to be sharing more and more information. You and your team are going to grace us at Nintendo Treehouse Live, and there's going to be a lot more information to share.
I'll tell you, that Nintendo Treehouse Live is actually a really good idea of theirs.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what's next.
Another Zelda handheld game.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the one that they introduced last year that didn't come out yet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Aonuma, the producer of Zelda. Today, I would like to talk about The Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes, the latest Nintendo 3DS Zelda game. I have the game's director, Chikata, here to introduce it with me.
Hello. I wanted to focus on multiplayer and co-op. Multiplayer in past Zelda games was more competitive, much like a party game. Everyone would gather to play to see who would get the most rupees. This time, I wanted players to cooperatively enjoy more serious.
You know, the word for this year's E3 is co-op.
Uh-huh.
Was a great feature, especially in terms of
Trying to get people to play together.
Yeah.
that into the multiplayer. So that's why we came up with the totem mechanic. Co-op was fully realized with the totem mechanic. You can carry your friends on your shoulders and reach higher places.
A 4-player totem was too tall. So we decided 3 was the better choice. For single player, there are supporting doll-like characters. There are 2 of them, and you can beat a level by switching between Link and these 2 dolls. The story starts in a kingdom that is just full of fashion-savvy people. Then, we find out something has happened. So the king is looking for a hero who could help. So different players are each claiming to be the hero. And so it begins. Using items to defeat enemies and conquering dungeons is a familiar staple from other Zelda games. So it should appeal to fans of the series.
Interesting.
This time, there's also a fashion element, where you collect items to create new outfits with new abilities. By buying and equipping these different clothes, your abilities change. So the same courses will offer different experiences depending on what you wear.
I think playing with people in online multiplayer where you can't see their reactions is fun too.
Hyrule Warriors for the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
When playing in multiplayer, we frequently hear Mr. Aonuma yelling excitedly about the game.
I have the loudest voice on the team. Also for Nintendo 3DS, we have another new game. Last year, we had the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors. We are now developing a 3DS version. This game is a reimagining of the Wii U game. It will include all the DLC characters from that one. We are also adding additional characters and stages from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker to expand the gameplay. Hyrule Warriors is not like the Zelda games I create. It is an experience only Koei Tecmo can really bring to life. I hope you will enjoy Hyrule Warriors Legends, as well as The Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes on Nintendo 3DS.
Tecmo. Not bad, not bad.
Back to the Muppets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. I can tell on Twitch. Twitch is like almost a full minute ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's coming.
Yeah, but it's not a console.
No, no. The 3DS.
Hey.
Seems to be a lot of 3DS love this year.
Mm-hmm. They announced this like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
anime.
Shin Megami.
The sentence is death.
Try to be at peace.
Oh,
Kill me if you want, but do it as yourself.
Persona? Atlas, which is the guys that make Persona. But is our guys next door mowing. Lovely.
Somebody said better than Destiny.
Nice.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, IGN. I mean, the IGN feed is a good entire game behind now. We're still on the Earth has been destroyed thing.
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, yeah. Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
retarded.
It's popular among a certain segment, unfortunately.
Even people in the chat saying this is not Animal Crossing.
Yeah. This is suck your money away crossing.
Nintendo's this year sucks.
They're not improving. They're not showing anything that makes me want to go ooh, you know.
The thing they pretty much did was, hey, you like Legend of Zelda? We have many versions of this. Hey, you like Metroid? We have many versions of this. Hey, you like Animal Crossing? We have many versions to this. It's retarded.
Yeah, it's look how much money we can suck out of you while we're still working on the real product.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's coming across as, to me at least. Sorry for walking away from the screen, guys, but I needed something to drink. Oh, and then we're gonna get Yoshi Yarn World next after this lovely. I probably need something stronger than Diet Pepsi if this continues like this. At least I won't have to worry about my diabetes. This is sugary enough right now. Oh, okay. Unraveled versus Yoshi's Yarn World, or what? Or Woolly World. Who wins? Hopefully Arnie.
Development department at Nintendo, and I am a coordinator. I work with developers in making Nintendo games. I've worked on Kirby's Epic Yarn with the same developer, and I was in charge of designing Yoshi's Woolly World with Tezuka-san. Working with Tezuka-san is very inspirational. He is the leader of this project. At the same time, he has the perspectives of the player, so he has both elements, the leader and the player. At first, I decided to make some Yarn Yoshi just for fun, because I'm not a programmer or an artist, so I wasn't able to make something in the actual game. So, and the development team was really working hard. So I thought to myself, oh, is there anything that I can do in some way to help this game? I went home and got some yarn and I decided to make my very first Yarn Yoshi. When I brought it back to the office, the smiles on the face of my colleagues really struck me. There was this proposal made at Nintendo saying that maybe for a game like this, a plushie amiibo would be more fun to have, because it goes well with the vibe of the game. And when I heard that, I fell in love with that idea and decided to make more Yarn Yoshi prototypes. Yoshi himself is made of yarn. The shape of his body transforms into different shapes. So he turns into like a propeller when you jump, and he turns into a mallet when he does the ground pound. But also the world itself is in yarn and fabrics and lots of textiles. We have places in the game where you can unravel, and you can also knit platforms. And in this game, the enemies are made of yarn as well. So when Yoshi swallows,
I'm fucking falling asleep.
into little yarn balls instead of eggs. Well, most of all, we want the game to be fun. Yoshi's Woolly World provides plenty of challenge.
I asked my friend, I said, what's with Nintendo making shit versions of great games? He's like, they're cashing out because you're gonna buy it anyway. It's Nintendo.
Expectations on the difficulty of the game. And for us, what's so special about Yoshi games is that the difficulty level is all up to the player, because if you just want to have fun, you can just run through the levels. If you think you're a more advanced player, you can set the challenge a little higher by collecting lots of items, and that provides plenty of challenge in this game. We are very confident that the game provides both the challenge and the fun. Its co-op mode is designed so that the user can decide how they want to play with their friend. So you can either cooperate with your friend, you can help each other out, you can swallow the other Yoshi, turn him into a Yambo, and then throw to higher areas. So that the
While
other
I'm watching this
Yoshi
boring
can
shit, all I just
get
want to
the
say is
little
go
bit of a
vote for
competition
Trump.
with your friends. It can be a little mean. If you have
I was listening. He was. They were broadcasting it on our local radio show, and
that amiibo character
his speech as I went to the grocery store to run grab a couple things,
which is
and I was like, yeah. Why does he sound the one that sounds the most logical of them all?
Because he's speaking his mind, he's not doing his politically correct bullshit.
Yep.
He was really cute. So that's why we decided to have him again in this game. He barks when there's an important item around you. So he's a quite useful companion to have. Even after you clear the level, it's really fun to go back, revisit that level, because there's always something that you missed out on. You always find something new. It would be great if you can collect all the items in one go, but that is quite challenging. So I hope people can enjoy playing the same level over and over again.
I'm not finding anything.
Most of all, I want people to feel happy when playing this game.
I think we'll skip playing that game. Yokai. Yay. Yokai Watch. Yay.
Paper and non-paper?
Mm-hmm. Two Mario worlds collide.
Yeah, because I always wanted this game to come back.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Oh, joy, we gotta talk to the developers of that one.
We've been working together for 30 years now. If there's 3 ideas presented to both of us, we pick the same one.
As the years went on and we made more and more side-scrolling games, we had to create a more advanced tool to design them with. This became the basis of Super Mario Maker.
The tool got so good that the more we worked with it, the more we realized we could also turn it into something everyone could enjoy. With Super Mario Maker, anytime you make an edit, you can see the results right away. This instant feedback can really help your imagination run wild.
Back in the day, we had to create everything by hand. To design courses, we would actually draw them one at a time onto these sheets of graph paper. We'd then hand our drawings to the programmers, who would code them into a build. While digging up these old documents, we found this. It's very precious. When we first thought of the idea of Super Mario Brothers, we had a concept of land, air, and sea. See this old sketch of Mario throwing fireballs from a moving cloud? You can now do that in Super Mario Maker. You can even control where the cloud flies.
In the old days, when we needed to fix or change part of the course, it would get really messy if we tried to edit the original drawing. So we'd put this see-through paper on top to make edits.
A lot of things might look familiar, but you can combine various elements from the different games to create entirely new stuff. Like stacking different enemies on top of each other to make a huge tower, and then putting a bullet bill on top. You can even put things we've never placed underwater. Right, there are some enemies that don't normally appear underwater, like Goombas. When you put one underwater in Super Mario Maker, it will swim like a small shrimp. Mario can even take on the appearance of other characters. Tap a compatible amiibo, like Wii Fit Trainer, and Mario can turn into Wii Fit Trainer when he gets a mystery mushroom. It's called Costume Mario. We have a lot of these planned. To celebrate Super Mario's 30th anniversary, we're releasing an 8-bit amiibo. When you use it, your Mario in-game is going to appear a bit bigger. The amiibo itself is pretty big too, to reflect the effect in the game. There's also a Super Mario Maker booklet. The booklet has a lot of sample courses. It's really fun just looking at them, as if this is what would happen if you design the world of Mario in real life.
Most times, I start by making a course I want to play, which is usually like a 2-1 or 2-2. Once that's done, we try to make it a little easier, so we move on to making 1-1. It's always like that. I may come across as a mean person by saying this, but in 1-1, there's a Goomba, which is clearly an enemy, but there's also a super mushroom, and you might run when you first see it. You run, but there's a block above, so you can't run. So if you jump, the ceiling is low, so you usually hit it. But when you do, you grow big. It's a surprise. There are stairs,
September 11th.
but there are gaps.
Sweet.
But the first gap has a floor, and the second one is the one you want to avoid because it's bottomless. So it's a tutorial in a sense. We put a lot of thought into those types of things.
When playing a Mario game for the first time, it's a challenge to run and jump at the same time. New players usually fall into the first pit because they can't make the jump. But they learn from it. They usually fall into it because they can't make it.
It's like game design training software.
Try it if you want to get into game design.
With enough practice, anyone can become a good course designer.
I said that Nintendo's experience for E3 is all about transformation. And while we've given you a sneak peek of some of our games coming later in 2015, there's still much more to share. Next, Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 begins. We'll kick off with Mr. Miyamoto and fellow developers flying through Star Fox Zero. And if you can't wait to get your hands on Super Mario Maker, the opportunity is right in front of you. On Wednesday, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday from noon until 5 p.m. local time, you can walk into any of more than 100 Best Buy stores in the US and Canada and experience the game for yourself firsthand.
Oh,
you can
that's
find the
neat.
details of all of our activities this week at e3.nintendo.com. To close, as anyone transforms, be it a person or a company, it's good to reflect on where you've been to help guide where you go next. Over the past 30 years, more than 1 billion people around the world have played a Nintendo game. And most of them have played as gaming's biggest star, Mario. From the music, to the costumes, to the characters, Super Mario isn't just Nintendo's mascot. There's a little piece of him, and certainly memories of his adventures, inside all of us.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Tráigase Mario.
Fuck am I watching?
I have no idea. Oh well, are you on the Twitch feed?
Yeah.
That's the Mario creator.
I know, but it's retarded. Like, they're going so in depth about this Mario.com thing.
Yeah.
People want games. They don't want this bullshit. Nintendo failed.
Yeah, I bet you it's like pass over the.
Now it's your turn. Visit LetSuperMario.com and help us celebrate his 30th anniversary by submitting your own Super Mario video. And do it for a good cause, with Nintendo making a donation to the non-profit group Operation Smile. Visit our site for details. Let's have some fun. Let's support a great cause.
Turn this off.
Let's Super Mario.
Retarded.
The only reason I'm not turning it off is because the one I'm watching is going to go right immediately into the Square Enix.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Hello everyone, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah, IGN jumped off of that.
There you have it. Nintendo's presentation from E3 2015. I'm David Hatfield.
I'm Max Scoville. Joining us, Brian Altano and Jose Otero.
Hey. Gentlemen, your reaction in one word.
Huh?
Jose?
Lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
Yeah.
So
can I explain that? Can I explain that?
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like going into the show, we did mention that the absence of Zelda was a big problem for them.
Yeah.
And they needed to find a way to sort of emphasize that even though that isn't something they were going to show, that they were going to do something, have cool things around it. I feel like the room was really divided on Star Fox. I feel like even though I am excited for that game, I still don't see a lot of excitement from a lot of folks here at the office or at E3. Like, ultimately, the announcements didn't line up in a way that drove that excitement for me.
Yeah, that was kind of the running theme, right? Is we got new announcements, but they were also kind of like marred by something that is maybe not so exciting. We got a new Star Fox that uses a lot of motion controls. We got a new Animal Crossing, but it's like a Mario Party clone. We got a new Zelda, but it's a 3-player and it's on 3DS.
Yeah.
We got a new Metroid, and I'm still processing that.
Ceremonious introductions.
Yeah, so like
to return to Metroid I have ever seen.
Let's back things up for a minute. Let's talk about Star Fox because that's what they started out with. We watched puppets of the Nintendo businessmen transform into animals before our eyes, and then lo and behold, here's a new Star Fox.
Now, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but does this look like a 2015 game?
Well, it's got a very clean art style. I don't know if it's the most beautiful looking game we've seen, but it does look a little more kind of minimalist than I would have hoped.
I don't know. Like we've seen like Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D World, and what we saw from Zelda looked really impressive.
No, I agree. I do feel like maybe sticking to the original Star Fox 64's art style is pretty divisive. Like we do like to see them reinvent franchises to transform them is their theme, according to Reggie. But it felt like this Star Fox, what we saw, played it very safe. That said, seeing the Arwing transformed into the Walker, like that was really cool. I do think that ultimately it's going to come down to when you play it, how you feel about it. But I'm higher on that game, I think. And I think the Activision thing, did you see that? That they're partnering to make a Skylander amiibo?
But just for the Nintendo, the Wii U version.
They are for the Wii U version, yeah. And just I think that's a smart play. I mean, the Choice of Life category is pretty hot. Nintendo has some success there. For consumers knowing that, like, hey, this Skylander also is a character that I can use as an amiibo, that's kind of a smart backdoor in some ways, right? So if you don't have some of those characters.
All right, so we are now waiting for the Square Enix conference, which hopefully will be better than Nintendo's. Nintendo's, to me, for those, and there's Dubs back, I think Nintendo for me was just kind of like same old, same old. Star Fox is new and Xenoblade Chronicles, and they didn't even really push Fire Emblem that much.
They showed a bunch of stuff that they already showed the past couple of months. We knew about Mario Maker. They finally showed up Star Fox. Doesn't look that great. Still gonna buy it because it's a Star Fox console game. They showed a new Zelda that nobody wants. I mean, people are still gonna buy it, but people, what they really want is a Wii U Zelda. But I'm guessing they're holding it off for their new console, and that was pretty much right when Reggie said we're holding off on showing Codename NX until 2016. And right when he said that, it kind of dawned on me that it's gonna be a shitty showing of Nintendo this year. So.
Yeah, because. All the razzle dazzles next year. And the puppets were cute, but it really, after the initial thing where they transformed into the Star Fox characters, after that, it was they barely used them.
Yeah, I don't know. So flatline.
Yeah, I did. Nintendo last year did a great job with their presentation. This year, it fell really flat.
basically when you bought a DS originally, the original Nintendo DS, there was a little cart with it that came with, you know,
This Metropolitan Federation Forge is. Yeah.
sort of chibi art style to it, which I don't know if I'm crazy about. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there, like the HUD.
Yeah, Chibi Metroid. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. IGN just called it kind of a chibi art style, and I'm like, yeah, Chibi Metroid. That's what that was.
Hey, can you link me to IGN?
Yeah. What I'm watching is this. God.
The one thing that YouTube kind of lacks on when you go to their webpage is I don't know where their live area is.
Yeah, I'm watching the same thing I was watching yesterday, which put that in there.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording right now, and then I'm going to restart it. So.